This is the fifth video on coding a trading system in 30 minutes, and today we're gonna be coding a pivot breakthrough system, an intraday pivot breakthrough system that you can afterwards modernize for any kind of system that can be a Camarilla system or whatever system you like. Well, we'll start and we'll see where it takes us, right? First of all, well, it might not take half an hour this time, just like it didn't take half an hour last time, but who cares? Anyway, so I'm gonna build intraday pivots based on the previous day high, low, and close, right? So I'm going to be looking at the previous day bars, and I'm going to build the pivot, and I'm also going to build the R1, R2, R3, R4, and S1, S2, S3, and S4. Well, maybe we'll just do the S3. Okay, so I'm starting from scratch as always, just copying some main things from previous systems that you can find just a few videos before. So just to save time, because we have a lot of work to do with pivots themselves, I'm just gonna copy, you know, the usings and the main stuff, the main method, which is the execute method. Okay, actually I should, you know, already have a template for this, but I don't know, still don't make it. Okay, so I have the execute method, which is the main method that WealthLab uses to execute everything. And then I have the main trade cycle, which is inside, and we're gonna start from the first value, and the first value is gonna be, just to start with, is gonna be 0. So guys, I mean, the further we get with these videos, the less detail I'll be giving about, you know, these basic methods, right, that I use to code the strategy, the basic template, the layout, because it's been discussed a lot in the first videos. So if you want more info on what this is doing and what this is doing, just watch the previous 4 videos, or go to trade-algo.com, and there's a whole you know, 1-hour instruction on C# on 4 cycles and methods and classes and everything, you know. Okay, so next. So this is just a 4 cycle that goes through bars, right? And this is the main method, inside which we have to make all our, you know, calculations. Okay, so we wanna so imagine this is WealthLab. Okay, and let's see, I don't know, Apple. So this is the daily time frame, right? And this is probably yesterday. Let's imagine this is yesterday's bar, and we are on say on the 5-minute time frame. So we want, on the 5-minute time frame, we want to plot the pivots, yesterday pivots, right? So how are we going to do that? Let's see. So I might have forgotten how to do this, but anyway, let's see. First of all, we are going to be working on an intraday time frame, so we want to set our time frame to daily, and I think this is something called set scale daily, right? Okay, and I think there's return scale. What was it? Restore scale. There we go. So we need to do stuff inside these two operators, right? So this guy's just set it to daily, and so what do we want to do when we set it to daily? Well, we just want to take the yesterday's prices, right, that we need. So we have let's create a data series, and it's going to be day close, right, and it's going to equal close. Or actually we can just, you know, calculate the pivot, yeah, which is going to be what was it? Is it high plus low? It's pretty early in the morning, so I have an excuse. Here we go. Okay, high plus low plus close plus 3 divided by 3. Okay, and I can do it just like that. High plus low plus close and divide by 3. Okay, so now I have the pivot. Yeah. Next, let's do the let's just check this, right? So I have the pivot on the daily, and I restore, and now I want to plot it. So what's going to happen if I plot it on the price pay? Pivot color, I usually make it orange. Lifestyle solid 2. Okay, let's just check what that will do. Okay, okay, so it gives an error. Fewer, see, it says it has fewer bars than the symbol. Let me just figure this out for 1 second. Okay, so I stopped it for about 5 or 7 minutes just so you don't have to look how I figure things out. And it's actually, everything's pretty easy. And well, first thing you have to do is you have to synchronize whatever you did here. Yeah, because right here you know that this is the bar scale, this is the daily scale inside here, and we're building a data series object inside a daily scale. So how many bars are we going to get there, right? We're going to have the number of bars, which equals the number of days, right? And so this object is going to have the count inside of it, the number of bars that was there on the daily frame, right? Okay, so and then we restore the scale and we go intraday, and that's why basically Wealth Lab gave us a mistake that the number of bars, the number of objects that we're trying to plot, we were trying to plot pivot, remember? So the number of objects that we were trying to plot, yeah, did not match the number of bars that we have intraday. Yeah, so you have to use this function called synchronize. So you just create a new data series, and let's call it intraday pivot. Okay, and then you synchronize your pivot to the intraday pivot, right? And that's going to do the job. And then, well, you can do this or you can do this not, right? So let's see what the difference is. The difference here is if I don't do it, it's going to plot like this, right? So I've checked the values are correct. So this is the pivot, right? So this line was able to form at this point, right? Because this is the last bar of yesterday, right? So that's where the daily bar actually closed, and we were able to obtain the value of the close price, because we need the close price right here to calculate the pivot, right? So that's where we got it. We got it right here at this point, and that's maybe a bit too early. So I mean, if you want it, depends on what you want it to plot, right? Because if you want to know your pivots before the trading day starts, then this is the way you plot it, because you know the day closed and you see the pivot, so you're set for the next day, right? And basically, but you know, sometimes when you're testing, you want to make it look nice, and so you can shift it 1 bar, and if you shift it 1 bar, it's gonna look you know, it's gonna give you this value, the pivot value, right at the bar, at the first bar of the next day, right? So let's just leave it with the nice view first. But from my experience, the nice view is not always the most appropriate view if you're trading manually and you want to see your pivots plotted just before the trading day starts, you wanna, you know, shift it. You might even wanna, you know, shift it back a few bars, you know, just to have it clear on your screen before a trading day starts. Okay, so that's it. You have them plotted. We have them plotted, right, like that. And actually, let me just pause this video, and I'll get here, copy all the equations here for all we need, right? So just 1 second. Okay, so actually, let me just do it, you know, online. How is it? I always forget how this thing come. I have different shortcuts on different computers, and I always forget how to comment and uncomment. Control KC. Damn. I'll leave it here. Okay. So let's code the equations for the rest of the pivots, right? I'll erase this afterwards, but I just, or if you, I might actually just keep it here. Shall we keep S4? Let's just, for the quickness, you can do S4 if you want. Okay, so, and let's just take central pivot. This is I'm taking from my article on the Pivot Master, Level Master. It's a tool I coded for Wealth Lab. It's pretty cool. Might want to check it out. Okay, so central pivot we have. Nice. So now we need the rest, and this does take a little bit of time. So let's take it R1 daily, 2 times central pivot minus low, 2 times pivot minus low. Next, and you might want to, you know, straight after that our intraday equals, and you know, you have to do this for every single pivot. That's R1 intraday. Okay, so now it's synced. Now R2. In fact, let's just to make it faster, R2, R3, S1, S2, S3. Okay, and it's gonna be R2. This is gonna be R3. This is gonna be S1, S2, and S3. So what's it going to be for R2? Central pivot plus high minus low. Pivot plus high minus low. Yeah, did I get that right? R2? R2 central pivot plus high minus low. Okay, R3, R1 plus R1 day plus high minus low. Okay, so the R is finished. I just separate them like this, you know, too. Okay, now S1, 2 times central pivot minus high. Central pivot minus high minus low. So and then this one is going to be S1 instead of. Did I get that right? Yes. Okay. So that's it. Now we put them here. So that was R2, R3, R2, R3, R2, R3. See, with this system, most of the time is, you know, getting them inside here. Now, let's have this S1 intraday synchronize S1 day. Okay, and two more. S2, S2, oops, S2, S3, S3. Sorry. Okay, so that's done. Now we have to plot them. R1, R2, R3, S1, S2, S3. Okay. R1, R2, R3, S1, S2, S3. Orange, well, this is what? R is resistance. Let's make it green. And this make red. Okay. Let's see if I made any mistakes or not. So that's it, right? And you see this is kind of annoying in Wealth Lab when you do it, and I think I remember that if you want to override that, you have to do intraday pivot, and there's something called description and pivot, right? And that actually, yeah, look, so I override that. Let's just do that so it looks nice. Okay, and this is what, R1, is that right? Yes, R3, S1, S2, S3. So now it looks nice. Did I not compile that? Sorry. Of course. S1, S2. Okay, so we're done with the fancy part, I guess. Now we have them all plotted, and that's it. So you got your pivots set, right? Okay, so now, well, there are numerous ways yet to trade these pivots, but you know, breakthrough, bounce back, and whatever. Yeah, the main goal was to get them plotted. So you have them plotted, and I guess there is an indicator for Wealth Lab that just does that, but now you know how to do it from the inside, and maybe someday I'll show you how to do an indicator from these pivots like yourself. So so that's it. Now let's do some trading rules. So I don't know, let's have let's look at the day open, yeah, or maybe a few bars during the open, and see, or like if the breakout occurs or something like that. I mean, looking at this apple doesn't, you know, give me any ideas. Well, it looks like there are days like this where you can, you know, enter here on breakthrough. Alright. Okay, so just let me just think about it for 1 second and I'll get back to you. So I mean, I've tried quite a few pivot systems and I don't really like them, to tell you the truth. But just for the sake of this example, I'm gonna code a simple pivot breakthrough, and you can add filters to that, right? Because tell you the truth, it's not gonna be a good system just from scratch, just if you code a breakthrough. Well, it might in some symbols, but I really doubt it, right? So I'm just gonna code to buy. We're gonna buy or sell whenever we break through the pivot line, and we're gonna take profit on the R1 or S1, right? And our stop would be somewhere below, the other way around. That's it. Just for the sake of this 30-minute series, right? This is more of a coding series, right? Not a strategy building series. So this series is more to get to know the code, how to code the system. Okay, so I'm gonna use a crossover, right? So I'm gonna wait for signal. So I'm gonna build an EMA, a price EMA with a period of like 1 or 2, so I can see the closing price. I'm just gonna use it for a crossover. I'll show you how to do that. So SMA close period 2. So that's just gonna give me the closing price, right? Oh, okay. I usually make it black. Okay, and now I can use it as a crossover, right? So I'm gonna have 2 situations: bull buy and bull short. Open short. See, because Wealth has a short as its variable, open long, so they're the same. Okay, now open long is going to be true whenever we get a crossover on bar of close price goes over the pivot, intraday pivot. Okay, and open short is going to be whenever there is a cross under on bar, close price, intraday pivot. Okay, and that's it really. Now we need to set some stops and some profits. Stop, profit. That's 0 and that's 0. Okay, so let me just copy this. So we don't have to write this whole thing. I'm just copying it. See, it's all the same for us. So if I have active positions, I'm gonna do, if I have a long position or if I have a short position, and if I don't have any position, what am I gonna do when I get a signal, right? So this is an open long signal and this is an open short signal. Up. Okay, there's an open short. So, and let's annotate bar as well with the value of intraday pivot. Okay, so this is what we do when we enter position. And this is what we do when we have already a position and we want to quit it, right? So now let's set our stops, and we want to set our stops on the first bar, right? And I have that, I think I have that coded already somewhere, stop and profit. So it's done like this. So I have to tell wealth. So it's gonna go inside here in the first bar, right? And if we have a long position, so if the bar that we're on right now is actually the bar we're entering, we can set our stop wherever, and we can set our profit wherever. Okay, so our stop is gonna be, if we're long, is gonna be R1. Sorry, S1. Okay, so S1 bar, yeah, and we want to plot stops as well. This just clears the debug window. Okay, and our profit is going to be R1. And you can see this is going to create a problem if we go to the next day, because the profit and the stop, they're going to stay the same, but that's something we can do in a bit later. For right now, we just need to get it working. So, and this is the other way around. The stop is going to be R1 and the profit is going to be S1, right? Oops, sorry. I need to do this as well, don't I? So that only happens, this setting happens only on the first bar. Did I just copy too much stuff? Okay, and let's just put this the other way around. R1, S1. Okay, yes. Yeah. Now we need to exit. So exit with stop, and if I can't exit with stop, so exit at stop on bar plus 1 last active position with this level, and if that can't happen, this is the sign for can't happen. That means that it tried it and it returned false. Then exit at limit order, which is our profit, and the same for this short. It's actually the same, exactly the same, except it says short and profit short. Let's see if this works. And well, this half an hour now, the system is ready, the framework of the system is ready, but okay, now it's yes, bar number must be 1 or greater. There's some problem. Let me see what the problem is. 1 second. I have to I forgot to do the first valid value has to be at least 2, because our EMA needs at least 2 bars right here. See if I if you go look at the EMA, 2 is not actually the period you want period 1. See, because this is, you know, it's taking some average already, and if you want the, you know, if you want the price exactly to be at the close price, you need the period of 1, right? See, if you start with 0 and here you have 1, it should work fine. Oh no, because it still needs 1 bar. See, now it's fine, but now it's taking the price, exactly, right? Let me. So this is Google. You can see it takes the exact price, and that might be not a good idea, right? So let's see some trades. See long, and this was our stop, so it exited with our stop. Well, how many trades? Oh, 34 trades. Well, that's not 4 years. 5 minutes. Don't give me 2 months. Okay, so this is another long trade. So it's working correctly. You see, as long as once we have a crossover, that's it. It buys, right? We have a crossover short right here. We had, and it bought. It went short, and it did a good job right here, huh? So this might work actually. This system didn't work for Apple, and you might want to see why. Maybe because you went short, and that's why, because you might want to close your positions at the end of the day, right? So let's do that, and we end this video. So I don't want to take positions overnight. And I'm gonna add, so if a bar equals, I think it's something like bars last bar of day, and it returns, let's see what it is. It's a method, and you have to put in a bar right here, right? And it returns true or false. So if our bar is last bar of day, then we can put it in. It doesn't matter if you're long or short. We can just put it in like this and say that we want to exit at close, bar last active position, or we just position. Show you one more thing, all positions, and day close. Should work. So we don't keep anything overnight. Let's see if that. Okay, see, day close is closing, and a bit more trades, a bit less here. Well, anyway, you have to try it with different symbols. This is not meant to be working with well, it looks like ABT, BAC. Oh wow, this is 1 minute gold, 1 minute BAC, and does that work? Well, 34 trades is a bit, is not too much, to talk about, but this is a 1 minute chart, by the way, right? You can't find symbols at which it works on, right? And I would suggest to add a filter, filter out some entries, because it might be a good idea. Let's try C. C doesn't work, gold doesn't work, but BAC. What about silver? No. But this does look pretty nice, the equity. Okay, so this is the framework. Now you can do whatever you want with it. Have fun. Good luck.